biggest step on the road to Athens for Dillon Boucher is making it back into the Tall Blacks team.
There's not so many people you can talk to and say they've been to an Olympic Games and let alone succeeded at an Olympic Games. So it's definitely first and foremost in my mind is to make the team to go, or make the squad and then make the team. And then from then on, it's going to be definitely trying to play as hard as we can to be successful at the Olympic Games.
For now, Dillon's getting as much game time as he can by playing in the Australian Basketball League for the New Zealand Breakers. While playing for the Breakers means Dillon can be a full-time basketballer, it also means he has to spend a lot of time in Australia and a lot of time away from his young son Jaden and pregnant wife Nikki.
Does anyone come off? I'm nervous about having this baby, just not nervous about actually having the baby, nervous that it might come before Dillon's there. Been through it before, so you know, I know what to kind of expect, but I'm just got my fingers crossed that Dillon will be there.
Where's Dad gone?
What?
She's gone to basketball. Who with?
Paulie.
Who else?
Dillon's so busy that everything in his life has to be run to a tight schedule, including the birth of his second child. There's only one way he can guarantee he'll make it to the delivery room.
I'm getting induced because, well, Dillon's going to be away a lot. We've picked some days where he's actually going to be home. Hopefully it doesn't come now because he's away in Australia, but we've chosen to be induced so that he can be there. He wants to be there for the birth.
Life on the road is tough for Dillon, particularly when his family back in New Zealand needs him. After playing a game in Australia, he heads back for the scheduled birth of his baby daughter.
You can sleep because you keep making too much noise.
I was playing in Cairns on Friday night and we flew out at 4 o'clock the next morning, Saturday morning. Ended up arriving into Auckland Airport. The flight was delayed and all sorts of things were going on. Didn't end up getting until 6 p.m. and we had an appointment at the hospital at 7 p.m, so we rushed home and packed some things for Nikki and got her ready to go and got to the hospital. I've done my fair share of nappy changes already. Yeah? Is he any good?
He sleeps through a lot. He thinks that he wakes up whenever she wakes up, but there's times that I'm up and he's snoring, so he thinks that he wakes up all the time, but he doesn't.
Dillon has a precious 4 days with newborn Mackenzie before heading back to his busy basketball schedule.
Yeah, in a few hours, about to get on the plane to fly over to Sydney and play another game, and yeah, it makes it really hard to leave Nikki and Jaden and especially Mackenzie behind. You know, I feel like you're just getting attached to them, and with Mackenzie, you know, you feel like you're just getting attached, and all of a sudden you've got to take off again. But these are sacrifices that you know you have to make for your sport. That's the end of the day. That's what you've got to do.
And as 2-year-old Jaden knows, life in the Boucher house is all about basketball. So soon after Mackenzie is born, she gets to experience her first ever game. It's a Breakers game in Auckland against the Melbourne Tigers. Dillon has had 16 games overseas this season, so a home game is a rare luxury. Dillon's on good form, playing hard to impress the Tall Black selectors who hold the key to whether or not he'll get to the Olympic Games. But in the stands, the excitement of a game is proving a lot for tiny ears.
She's sort of behaving herself. She's woken up halfway through the game. I was hoping she'd sleep all the way through, but she's woken up, so I'm not sure if she's going to last the whole game. It's a bit noisy, I reckon. Definitely a big night. Pity they couldn't win for her first game, but yeah, no, well, she'll be going home and hopefully sleeping most of the night, but probably not.
The last 9 months have produced a new child for the Boucher family. The next 9 months will tell whether or not Dillon plays at the Olympics. Next week on Road to Athens, Tony Jeffs heads to the Human Performance Centre at Otago University to analyse her stroke from every angle. And Michigan-based star middle distance runner Nick Willis comes home especially for his first ever race at Eden Park.